Good morning, dear students. Today we will discuss internet surveys, like how to conduct internet survey and what are the pros and cons of internet survey and what it is actually, right? So internet survey basically is a self-administered questionnaire posted on a website. Respondents provide answers to questions displayed online by highlighting a phrase, clicking an icon, or keying in an answer. You might be given some phrases, you might just highlight them, or you might be given options like you have to click one of them, you might have to click an icon, or something like that. Internet surveys, when it comes to the advantages of internet surveys, its speed of data collection is very good. It's instantaneous. Like when you have put a questionnaire on internet, as soon as the responses are getting recorded, you will get the responses, recorded responses in the form of Excel sheet, right? So it is the maximum speed. The internet surveys have the maximum speed of data collection. Then it is cost effective. Yes, it just is. It just require an internet connection, and that's it. Nothing else when it comes to the survey. But yes, you have to talk to people. You have to tell them. You have to pursue them, like that. You have posted a questionnaire and they have to fill it. You might have to convince a lot of people, that is different, but still when it comes to the cost, you do not have to spend for internet service. Sorry. Then when it comes to geographic flexibility, yes, it is available worldwide, because you can actually ask as many people from as many locations to fill up the questionnaire which is being put on internet. This does not require you to be traveling through and then reaching the respondent. So it is worldwide. It provides you the maximum flexibility to the worldwide. Then visual and interactives. Yes, you can put some visual and interactives as well, that too in color forms on the internet, as compared to the personal interviews and telephonic interviews. This has the maximum rate like this. And then accurate real-time data conversion is there in case of internet service. This provides you data as soon as it gets filled up, and this actually saves you the time to actually record the responses as well. You have all the responses recorded automatically. Then callbacks, consumer panel, and automatic emails. Yes, when callbacks is required, like for some consumer panel kind of the things, or for the surveys which are which will be like that you will be asking the same questions or similar questions almost every year from the same set of people, same set of sample. Then it is the uh, maximum used survey these days, at least. Or you can even send automatic emails to people, like when the person has filled the survey, at the end you can send them a thank you mail or something like that also. So that is a kind of positive thing from internet service, that you do not have to supervise it just like that, like we do supervise in case of personal interviews or telephonic interviews. You can just supervise it as per the responses you are receiving. It has some disadvantages as well, or you can say some little negative points. Respondent cooperation is required in case of internet service. Again, it varies on the website, dependent on the respondents as well, whether they were expecting the questionnaire or not. That also depends. So you have to tell them beforehand so as to get them prepared to reply to the questionnaire. Then yes, questionnaire length is also sometimes problem. Individualized based on respondent answers. Some people are like they would not like to respond to lengthy questionnaires. Actually nobody would like, but still some people might cooperate easily because they know that this is necessary for you or something like that, but some people would not respond if it is lengthy. So questionnaire length is also a concern here. Longer questionnaires with panel samples are extremely flexible or should be with the dialog box. Then representative samples. Yes, this is the greatest problem when it comes to internet surveys. The quality of internet samples may vary substantially. A sample of those who visit a website and voluntarily fill out a questionnaire can have self-selection error. Yes, this happen in most of the internet surveys because those people who are actually using the website would reply, and people who are not very used to of the internet and they might not be visiting those websites, they might not reply. But for that you should be having your population should be such as who are actually using internet frequently, then only it is more beneficial. Otherwise, if you have those people in your population who are not actually using the internet and their response is also very important to you, then it might create a problem for you. So you can even do one thing. You can get some responses through internet survey, you can get some responses through field work. That can also be done in such cases. Then yes, security concerns, these are even you can say worst than representative samples. This is there these days. People take a lot of advantage through through these surveys, in the name of these surveys you can say, or in the name of banks or something like that. So these have real security concerns that should be taken care of, and this cannot be avoided. Then how would you increase response rates in case of internet surveys? You can actually make an effective cover letter which looks very good and which conveys the matter in very brief words. Then your questionnaire should be interesting, indirect, and disguised questions should not be there. Then you should be going with necessary follow-ups whenever you feel like that these people have not seen the questionnaire till now or something like that. You can go with follow-ups, you can actually call them personally, you can tell them how important it is to you. Then advanced notification, yes, this is actually necessary if you want a particular sample to be replying to you. Then you can involve some innovative techniques, you might be having your own ideas. Survey sponsorship can be done, you can provide them some incentives. Keying questionnaires or ensuring confidentiality, this is very important. You have to ensure confidentiality, otherwise people do not like to share information these days, and you actually should ensure confidentiality even if you do not say it to the respondents. Then continuity and flow of the questionnaire should be very right, so as to so that respondents doesn't get bored and they reply with the flow. Then question sequence, yes, that should also be proper, so that you do not get the biased results, biased answers. How an internet questionnaire should be, it should be easy to use, it should flow logically and have a graphical look and feel, so that respondents doesn't get bored. Then use GUI softwares like Web Surveyor, Front Page, Netscape, Composer, and the like wisely. Take care about screen resolutions to avoid wrap up around text. Or you can use 70 or less characters question with. You can improve your questionnaire as per the pre-testing. Like you must have seen the responses in pre-testing, and you can actually change your questionnaire accordingly. Then layout of the internet layout of the internet questionnaire, this is the important thing, because On layout only, it depends whether respondent would be very comfortable in replying or not. Because when it comes to personal interview, you are just providing the list of questions and they are replying. That's it. But when it comes to internet questionnaire, there are so many things that how they would be replying. If they want to go back to previous question, then how would it happen? If they want to skip a question, how would they do it? So many things are there. For example, compatibility should be there. You should try to make the website compatible to all the system, so that respondents do not get problem while answering. Then paging versus scrolling should be available. Links to top and bottom of segment should be provided at both the ends. Then push buttons should be there. Then status bar should be there, which actually tells the respondent that he has replied to these many questions and these many questions are left, and at which question he is right now. Then radio buttons should be there, so as to get the easy replies from respondents. Without radio button, they might face problems. If they have to type in, they might not reply. Radio buttons make it easier. They are just circular buttons where if you click, then all other options might get unclicked in the question if it is a multiple choice question. You can actually provide the list like that you can actually only click on one button. Then drop down boxes should be there, so as to go to next questions. Check boxes can also be done in case of the questions where multiple responses can be accepted. Then open-ended boxes should also be there for questions where subjective answers are required. Then pop-up boxes should be there whenever you feel like that you can help the respondent to understand the question in a better way. Then variable piping software should be there. Error trapping can be done. Forced answering, that can be done with the help of clicking an option this that the question must be answered like that. And interactive help desk can also be a great help for respondents in case if they face any problem. Generally, internet survey lasts for very few days. You can always be available to respondents with the help of interactive help desk in case if it is if you want better responses or better results, you can say. Yes, then it can be translated to global research very easily, rather I mean at least much more better than other kind of surveys. Like we have discussed field work, we have discussed telephonic interviews, and this is internet survey. If you compare three of them, internet surveys gives you the maximum response with limited time and resources. That's it. Let us discuss some true false. Number one, the paging layout format on an internet questionnaire going from screen to screen greatly facilitates skip patterns. Yes, it does. So paging layout format should always be there. It is true. Second, a radio button is a message box that can be used to provide highlighted information. No, radio button is not a message box. Radio button is actually a circular button, circular box, you can say, which actually approves the answer. You can say if you have given four options and you have to select one out of them, as soon as you click on one radio button, other three responses would be eliminated, or you can say it would be disapproved and one would be approved. So radio button is a kind of circular button for agreeing to a answer. It is a false. Third is variable piping software allows variables such as answers from previous questions to be inserted into unfolding questions in an internet survey. Yes, these are actually for the same purpose, so it is true. Fourth is a pretest of a questionnaire can help to establish the likely response rate for mail surveys. Pretest is generally done so as to remove extra questions and to help respondents. Pretest is basically done to make the questionnaire better. you can say to make the language easy, to make respondents comfortable with the questionnaire, right? So this is actually the same. Pretest of a questionnaire can help to establish the likely response rate for mail surveys. When your questionnaire is being pre-tested properly, and of course it will be helping and increasing the response rate. So it is true. Some self-assessment questions. List down the advantages and disadvantages of internet surveys. What are the advantages of internet survey? It gives you speedy collection of data, right? As soon as the respondent has replied, you will get it in the form of Excel sheet recorded in your system, right? Or you can say on your email, the mail you have shared with that internet survey. It is very much cost effective when it is compared to any other method available. Geographical flexibility is also there. Visual and interactive media can also be shared in such cases, and you can always go with collabs. These are the advantages. Though everything has its own disadvantages as well, and the same goes with internet surveys. Its major disadvantages, security concerns. Yes, people are facing security concerns these days, especially when it comes to internet and calls, right? We get calls randomly through bank, and the other person might say we are calling from so and so bank, or we are calling for so and so survey, but they are not actually doing any survey, and they are not even from banks. So these concerns are there these days. Then you might get self selection bias in case of internet surveys. Only those people would reply who are actually using internet more, or maybe using that particular website, or maybe there would be some people who are actually always ready to volunteer to respond to all the questionnaires. So it would always contain a self selection bias, until and unless your study is such that which is actually related to internet surveys only. Then one more disadvantage is, you cannot keep the questionnaire very lengthy here, because if respondent is bored, he might leave the questionnaire in between, right? In case of personal interviews, you can modify, you can actually talk to the respondent about some other things in between, and then you can come back to the questionnaire. Or at least you are standing in front of the respondent, so he might reply all the questions. But in case of internet surveys, questionnaires length should be as smaller as possible. Then respondent might not cooperate sometime. That also happen in case of internet surveys. Then how to increase, second is how to increase response rates in internet surveys. How would you increase the response rates in internet surveys? First is, you should be having a very good effective cover letter. If you are um, if you impress the respondent with your research study questions and everything, then they might reply for the whole questionnaire. Then your questionnaire should be very good, it should be direct, and it should be very interesting, so that respondent feel good while replying. And you should be involving all the innovative techniques possible. You should ensure their confidentiality, otherwise they might not reply at all. It also increase the response rate. Then questionnaire sequence should be proper. If questions are not in the proper sequence, that also irritates the respondent, and they might not reply then, right? And you can always talk about the survey sponsorship, that also impress the respondent sometimes. Then third is, discuss layout issues with respect to internet questionnaires, the tools used to assist respondents' navigation through the survey, and the alternative ways of displaying questions. You have to discuss all the layout issues here. For example, compatibility, your page layout, page scrolling, paging, scrolling, status bar, radio button, drop down box, check box, open-ended boxes, or you can say pop-up boxes, error trapping softwares, forced answering, and your interactive help desk. You can mention all the things related to layout and discuss them one by one with the help of one example, you can say. That's it. Thank you. In our next video, we'll be discussing web surveyor. Like this, you can design your own survey with the help of web these days.